following program is brought to you in living color.
You are listening to The Liberal Grouch.
People, all going somewhere, all with their own thoughts, their own ideas, all with their own personalities.
Ever since I was a child, all I've ever wanted to be was a journalist, to write stories, to be on the radio, to be an observer of the human condition. Throughout my professional life, in radio, newspapers, and as a writer with the federal government, I've been true to the journalistic ethic of telling the truth, of being accurate, of trying to tell both sides of the story. But I've learned there are people who don't want their story told. In fact, they will do anything to keep you from telling their story. Individually, they are weak, small people who hide in the dark. But when they form a pack, they become dangerous. Not just to the individual trying to tell their story, but to the very concept of a free press. They want their side of the story told, not the full story. And when a strong, honest, progressive voice comes along, one who captures the ears of honest people, it frightens them. It makes them crazy.
Hold the string. Dance to that which one is created for.
They will do whatever they have to do by whatever means necessary to silence that voice, either through legal means or other means. The only thing necessary for evil to succeed is if good people do nothing. I choose to do something. I will stand in the face of this wolf pack of right-wing lunatics until I am either silenced by legal means or until they kill me. They will need to find either some way to throw me in jail for telling the truth, or else there will be blood on the microphone.
Well, we gave it the old college try yesterday by attempting to do a live show, but the equipment just wasn't up for it. By that I mean this old Samson CO1U USB stereo condenser mic. When you hook it up to the equipment, it's only got like one channel on it. And if I hook up this Rode Podcaster microphone, it makes me sound like a chipmunk on methamphetamines. So, let's begin the way we always have. I'm Bill Schmalfelt. I'm the Liberal Grouch. And I must begin today's proceedings with a serious announcement. This is from the United States District Court for the District of Maryland regarding civil action number RDB-15-1241. In the case of William M. Schmalfelt Sr., plaintiff, versus Patrick G. Grady, a.k.a. Paul Krendler, defendant. Order. You know it's official when they say order, like order in the court, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, back to what we were doing. Hang on. Order! I said that already. The above captioned self-represented complaint was filed together with a motion for leave to proceed in forma pauperis, which shall be granted.
Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. Let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again.
All right. There's no need to rub their noses in it. There's probably enough butt hurt to go around, and I don't want to be seen as somebody who will sit here and my little podcast studio and lord it over them and say, I told you so, when they told me time and time again that there was no way that a judge would approve my motion to file in forma pauperis, which basically means I don't have to pay the $400 filing fee they want in circuit court. And it also means that the U.S. Marshal will take care of serving Mr. Grady. What do you say we enjoy the rest of this order together? In light of plaintiff, that's me, in light of plaintiff's indigence, the United States Marshal shall effect service of process on defendant. However, it does not appear that plaintiff has furnished a U.S. Marshal service of process form for the named defendant. Nope, didn't know there was such a thing. Until plaintiff cures this problem, service shall not be issued. But the clerk shall be directed to mail a copy of the Marshal form to the plaintiff, who must complete and return the form to the clerk within 21 days from the date of this order, which is today, I believe. Yes, March 5th. Cinco de Mayo. The clerk shall then be directed, I think I said that already. Okay. Failure to comply with this order may result in dismissal without prejudice of plaintiff's complaint. Once the forms are received, the clerk and the U.S. Marshal are directed to take all necessary steps to effectuate service of process. Accordingly, it is this 5th day of May, 2015, by the United States District Court for the District of Maryland, hereby ordered that plaintiff's motion for leave to proceed in forma pauperis is granted. 2. The clerk shall mail a copy of this order and 1 copy of the U.S. Marshal Service of Process form to the plaintiff. 3. Plaintiff is granted 21 days from the date of this order in which to complete the Marshal form and return it to the clerk and to provide a service copy of the complaint as set forth herein. Plaintiff is cautioned that the failure to return the completed U.S. Marshal form in a timely manner may result in the dismissal of this case without prejudice and without further notice from the court. Upon the receipt of the U.S. Marshal form, the clerk shall issue summons and forward same together with the complaint, the U.S. Marshal forms, and a copy of this order to the U.S. Marshal. And the U.S. Marshal is directed to effectuate service of process on defendant at the address provided by plaintiff. If the U.S. Marshal uses U.S. Postal Service delivery to effect service on defendant, it shall do so by restricted delivery, certified mail, signed by Richard D. Bennett, United States District Judge. So what that means is the judge who turned me down before, this time I think I did a better job of explaining my actual financial circumstances and my present illness and my wife's illness and my inability to proceed with the lawsuit against this slavering idiot unless I could file in this format. This is a Bush appointee, by the way, this Judge Bennett, proving that at least in the state of Maryland, justice does not come with a price tag. Now, there are some lesser men who might take this opportunity to gloat and to rub people's faces in it. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those who told me that as soon as the judge sees the complaint, he'll Google my name and realize what a foul character I am. No, that's not me. That's not the sort of person I am. I'm more of a let's listen to a song type of person. I gotcha! You thought he wouldn't do it now, didn't you? You thought that he'd deny it now, didn't you? Now give me what you gotta give. Give it here, come on! Hey! Good God! Hey! Hey! You taunted me each day on your stupid website. Said I'd be the loser if we should fight. Your libel me, slandered me, dared me to, yeah. You told me the winner would always be you. Now bend down, down to the ground now, hold it. Don't try to struggle now, hold it. It'll be over soon now, hold it. Come on, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Now squeeze down on it now, hey! Good God, hey! The judge approved it, ha ha, good God. You said there's no way that a judge would approve it. You said that he'd Google me and then he'd say screw it. He saw my complaint and he issued a ruling. I can sue you for free, and I ain't fooling. Now give it here. You never should have libeled on me. Give it here. Wipe your eyes now. Give it here. Quit your whining now. Give it here. Come on. Give it here. Give it here. Give it here. Give it here. Give it to me. Good God. Hey, I gotcha. Marshal gonna serve it to you. Gotcha. And you gotta take it too. Gotcha. Give it on here. I gotcha. You thought you'd get away with it, didn't you? I gotcha. Give it on up. I gotcha. Give it on here. I gotcha. You thought you could get away, didn't you? Ha! Gotcha. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, we'll see you in court, you stupid son of a bitch.
I don't know much about nothing, that's how I get along. Half my brain is smaller than the other, and howdy, my stench is strong. Not what you would call gallant, I got no natural talent, but I go blogging every day, hoping I'll find something smart to say. I'm a blogging fool, and I'm August too. I'm a blogging fool, and I'm August too. I can't explain Pinky and the Brain, but I can't complain, cause I'm August too, and a blogging fool. The smarter folks on Twitter, I think they're all to blame. I log on in and see them there, gonna put them all to shame. When they see me tweeting, they all splits aside. They hasn't been while I commit my social suicide. I'm a blogging fool, and I'm August too. I'm a blogging fool, and I'm August too. The world goes on and I'm so wrong. The world world goes on and I'm so wrong. The 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 world goes on and I'm so wrong. I know I'm totally wrong, but I'm a login fool. I know I'm totally wrong, but I'm a login fool. Yowza, yowza, yowza. I got it all together now with my very own iPhone 3. Hey, I cruise the App Store to find something cool to show I'm not gay. I found this thing called Grindr. I think I'll give it a chance and see if there's a girl who might give me a whirl while I text the night away. I'm a login fool and a hog is too. I'm a login fool and I'm hog is too. I may be totally wrong, but I'm a login fool. I may be totally wrong, but I'm a login fool. I may be totally wrong, but I'm a hoggish too. I may be totally wrong, but I'm a Buddha. Hey, Hoggy, can I buy you a drink? Looking for Mr. Ass Kiss? Here he is. Wait a minute. I got it. You're a genius. Hi. You're brilliant. Love your brain. You must work for NASA, huh? Your place or mine.
Pull the string. Dance to that. Which one is created for?
The key is knowing which string to pull. Pull the wrong one, and the entire fabric of the universe will unravel. This is the liberal Grouch.
And this has not been a good couple of weeks for the Hoggies, the Lickspittles, Team Lickspittle, if you will. Today's decision in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland is just the latest in a long string of defeats, going back to the end of January when Hogue tried to find me in contempt of court and failed. And when he tried to have me found guilty of a crime for offering free information about the NIH to his cancer-stricken wife, well, he lost that too. And then he filed an appeal with the circuit court asking that they redo the peace order so that instead of being in effect for a year, it would have only been in effect for 6 months, and it would have expired on February 27th. And can we retroactively go back to February 27th and make the peace order extend for another 6 months? The judge said basically, are you crazy? So it really has, I mean, with today's decision, it's just not really been that great of a week. Nor do I imagine Friday being any better.
Hi, everybody, settle down. Hold on. I have a brief statement to make, and I'm not anticipating taking any questions. As you saw, this was the 7th game of the World Series, so there's no tomorrow, so to speak. And yes, when the game reached the bottom of the 9th inning, a chance to close in on that 11-0 deficit we were facing. Unfortunately, we couldn't even get a runner on the base, so the scoreboard read 11-0 after 9 innings. I appealed to the umpire, the head umpire, and asked is putting it politely, demanded one more inning. Because I know my boys have got it in them to hold the other team scoreless and then go out and score 12 runs. They've done it before. They've scored 12 runs in an inning before. No reason why they can't now. The head umpire said, "No way, Jose," and that's not even my name. He said, "You played a 9-inning game. You came up short, 11-0. This is Game 7 of the World Series. You've lost. The season's over." Well, I'm not satisfied with that answer. So I will take my complaint to the Commissioner of Baseball, and I will say that we played this game in protest because we were not given a fair chance to win the ball game by scoring 12 runs in the 10th inning that the umpire should have allowed.
Is there anything in the rule book that allows that?
I said I wasn't taking any questions. Get out of here. I gotta set up a meeting with the commissioner. And sending that Hoagie guy. Need to have him write a brief. Legal.
But hurt everywhere. But hurt, and I don't care. But hurt isn't fair. I'm not supposed to see this, I'm not supposed to see that. But on the internet, everybody's laughing at cats. And the difference is this: cats, they don't give a shit, but the humans do. Yeah, the humans do. But hurt everywhere. But hurt, it isn't fair. But hurt, and I don't care. Grammar Nazis hard at work, watching Miley's ass twerk. Where did you learn to spell? The bullshit's starting to smell. Idiocracy rules and people acting like fools. Please stop feeding the trolls. Said you're feeding the trolls. But hurt everywhere. But hurt, and I don't care. But hurt, it isn't fair. You give the power to these words, it's putting glitter on the turds. I don't care if you call me a bitch, a slut, a whore, a faggot, cunt, or whatever. Float your boat, cause you know that we gotta take the power back. That's right.
So there it is. The lawsuit against Patrick Grady will continue, and he will be forced to either answer the complaint or not answer it and be found in default. I can't wait to see his answer to it, which I bet you $1 to a dog turd will be written by Aaron Walker. You know Aaron Walker, right?
And now it's time for another Aaron Worthing's World of Law. From his seaside cabana on his private island off the coast of Mexico,
Here's Aaron Worthing.
There are those who will tell you that I suffered a setback on Friday, March 22nd, when some hillbilly judge in Maryland, of all places, decided to throw out my peace order against the horrible Bill Schmalfelt. Not so. This, gentle listener, was the greatest legal victory since Clarence Darrow humiliated Frederick Douglass in the great debates of 1779. The whole peace order thing was a ruse, a sham, if you will, designed with one purpose and one purpose in mind: to get Bill Schmalfelt to lie under oath, which he did over and over again. For instance, when asked to give his name, he said William Matthew Schmalfelt, which is a lie. His name is Bill Schmalfelt. William, indeed. For another thing, he said he was not a paid employee of the Breitbart Unmasked website, and that any money he receives for his writing is through donations. And that is a lie. Of course, once we get our hands on the independent contractor agreement he signed, should such exist, we'll be able to prove that. And for another thing, he lied about what he said about working on President's Day. He said he didn't recall complaining about working on President's Day. Listen for yourself. Here he is complaining about working on President's Day.
Okay, so who got President's Day off? Huh? Raise your hands. I don't see that many hands. It's not really one of those holidays that a lot of people get off, but when I was in the federal government, I used to laugh at chumps who had to work on days like this. It's probably karma coming back to haunt me. Hi there, I'm Bill.
Oh, the mewling, crying, whining about being forced by Brett Kimberlin, no doubt, to work on President's Day. And how can it be work unless someone is paying him to do it? So you see, we caught him in a lie, a terrible, terrible lie, under oath. And that's why when I file perjury charges in Howard County, and we go forward with the case, I fully expect
Mr. Walker!
You festering boil on the buttocks of humanity. I keep telling you when I'm on the radio, my name is Worthing, you imbecile. Now what is it?
Sorry, Mr. Worthing.
Why do you interrupt this possibly most important radio broadcast since Hitler attacked the Japanese at Pearl Harbor?
There's someone here to see you, Mr. Worthing.
Oh, no! It's Bill Schmalfelt and his dynamic, incredible lawyer, Ty Kim.
Aaron, we talked about this. I told you I do not work for Blog Talk Radio. I am not paid to work for Blog Talk Radio. In fact, I pay $99 a month for the privilege of doing a show on Blog Talk Radio.
Yes, you did say something about that, I believe.
And as far as being paid by anyone, who pays you to do your little Allergic to Bull blog? Certainly you must be a paid employee of someone, right?
Well, no, it's my blog, and I get donations for it.
I see. So I'm a liar because I get donations to blog, but you are pure and honest because you get donations to blog. But you do get that monthly check from your mommy and daddy. I believe in your pauper filing in Prince William County, you said it was $2,500 a month, correct?
Well, I don't recall.
Mr. Kim has a copy of the filing.
Oh, yes. Now I remember, yes.
I'm going to go. Mr. Kim will sit here with you and discuss your other financials. To start with, we'll need your mother and father's address, bank account information, and all the other things necessary to take from them what we can, since they've financed your little foray into the legal world.
Why, yes, of course, anything, however I can help. I mean, just my parents. It's not like I owe them anything.
And, Mr. Walker?
His name is Worthy.
Shut up. Mr. Walker, next time you think you can score an easy victory by fucking with a phoebe, fuck with a phoebe who won't fight back. I own you now, Mr. Walker. Mr. Kim will tell you the extent of that ownership.
Well, that's all very interesting and exciting, and I look forward to our future associations and working together with you to...
Mr. Walker?
Yes?
Shut up.
Have you seen the little hoggies crawling in the slime? Sad for all the little hoggies running out of time. Paying for your crime can lead to butt hurt. Have you seen the daddy hoggy in his nice bow ties? You will find that daddy hoggy's running out of lies, nearing his demise in profound butt hurt.
In their styes with all their shucking, they don't care what goes on around. With their lies, you see them sucking what they got's a damn good fucking.
Everywhere there's lots of hoggies with their hoggy lies. Even Hoggy's giant boy child with his chafing eyes, hoping daddy dies while he has money. One more time.
Daddy, they did a song about us.
Be quiet, you fool.
Ow.
You are listening to The Liberal Grouch.
Beware. Take care. Beware.
Yes, because we're not responsible for any major or minor mental freakouts caused by listening to this show.
And that, gentle friends and neighbors, is what we call a disclaimer. If my voice sounds a little weird, it's because over the weekend, at some point, late Friday night, I bit my tongue during the night, way toward the back on the left side, and talking, which is not the easiest thing in the world for me anymore anyway, has become painful. Oh, the years people have longed for that. Well, the major story of the day being that the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland has approved my motion to file in forma pauperis, which means I don't gots to pay for the lawsuit, and that federal marshals will be the ones who serve Patrick Grady. Now, anyone who's been following the ersatz Paul Krendler on the Thinking Man Zombie blog has to notice an increase in the percentage of crazy in each post. Patrick Grady seems determined to deny his connection to Krendler to the very end, but he's doing so in a way that does nothing to prove his case. I've done some looking around. Let me see if I can call this up on the screen here real quick. And I think the judge and jury will find it interesting that Patrick Grady has also referred to himself online as Palatine Pundit, Dallenberg, PGGFPU, Francisco Dacania, I guess John Galt was taken, and now he's now he's Paul Krendler, another fictitious character who would probably be an Ayn Rand fan if he hadn't had the top of his head sawed off in the Hannibal movie. But on and on it goes, and he doesn't seem to be showing any signs of realizing the precarious nature of his position. He keeps saying my case against him has a fatal flaw that I would not be able to overcome by refiling. And Hoggy is also referred to that fatal flaw. And I think I know what it is. And it's not a fatal flaw. If anything, it's a little too much information. Hang on here. I just got an email from a friend of mine. I want to look at it real quick, and then we'll continue. I'll have to answer that one later. They've pointed out that several of the instances I mentioned in my complaint happened more than a year ago, which is true. And the statute of limitations for defamation, for intentional infliction of emotional distress, that happens to be 1 year. But that's not all I mentioned. That's not all that's in the complaint. For instance, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah. There were dates that on the complaint that fall outside the statute of limitations, which I was aware of when I wrote the complaint. They're there to lay the foundations of how I know Grady and Krendler are one and the same. You just can't waltz into the court, start testifying that he and Pat Grady are the same person. So you got to lay a foundation. I even list some of them in the causes of action, but the judge can discount and will discount those in a trial. I do allege defamatory acts on February 19th, 2015, April 23rd, 2015, May 15th, 2014, May 18th, 2014, June 1st, August 24th, September 24th, November 18th, December 4th, December 8th, December 10th, January 6th, January 10th, January 30th, February 1st, and March 28th of this year. All of those fall within the statute of limitations. The judge may toss out those other ones, and he probably should. Once we've gotten Grady into the courtroom, there's really no need to lay down the reasons why. I have come to the conclusion that he is who he is. But still, he seems bound and determined to insist that my case is doomed. First of all, they are saying there's no way the judge would grant the informa pauperis, which we now know he has. And if I did have a fatal flaw in my case, what would be the harm of rubbing my face in it? If there's nothing I can do about it and no way to repair the flaw, what better time to crow about it? how stupid I am and how foxy and clever they are, it just doesn't ring true. If whoever is running Thinking Man Zombie is not Grady, I know for a fact it was created by Grady. That's irrefutable. We know Grady was in the captain's chair until at least September. Then he wrote about some sort of neglect to his family that he had to make amends for. He floated the idea of assigning administrative passwords to several other people, all of which would be able to log on as Paul Krendler. The point is, who is ever continuing to defame, cast false light, and inflict emotional distress is not helping Grady. Like I said, the judge has shown he's not going to Google my name and decide the law doesn't apply to protecting me. The judge won't give a shit about what I wrote 5, 10, 15 years ago. The judge will listen to the evidence, in this case, and the jury will decide. This is not the time to be playing silly games with pretend codes and contact forms and members-only posts. If you're doing that, and you're not Grady, then Grady's going to have to prove that I got the wrong guy. And the only way to do that is to reveal who the real guys are or is. And if this is how these kids wants to play it, they're the ones who think it's a game. I'm dead serious. And Grady is going to have to pay the check for the dinner they're ordering and enjoying.
I'm hurt 'cause you disagree with me, but hurt way up deep inside of me. I tried witch hazel paths, but there's blood each time I fart. Each day more butthurt ads, and it breaks my heart. Butthurt. Ever know. There's no ointment for butthurt, and it grieves me so. All this damage to my anus means butthurt that burns through and through. It's such torture. This butt hurt. Oh. Somebody get me one of those donut balloon pillows. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody simmer down. Simmer down, it's time for the briefing. He said shut up! All right then. We have some new directives sent down from headquarters. No doubt some of you have been following the news and you heard that the Staten Island grand jury came back with the no true bill against that brave Staten Island police officer what choked that big black fellow to death for selling cigarettes. And that kind of goes hand in hand with what we saw down there in, where was that again?
Ferguson, Missouri.
Oh, yeah, right, Ferguson, Missouri. That's by St. Louis there. This continues a trend that began in Florida when that Zimmerman guy
put a couple rounds in that kid who was walking while black and wearing a hoodie. So the department, in its wisdom, says that we don't got to worry no more about shooting black people or killing them or whatever else, since nobody else seems to care.
Are you saying that we got license to kill whoever black guy we want, Sergeant Gronkowski?
No, you knucklehead. They got to be committing some kind of crime first. Or at least you got to suspect they're committing a crime. Let me see if I can put it this way for you. Make it a little easier for you to understand the complex nature of the situation that I am bringing to your attention at the briefing today.
Grab his throat, and just like that, watch him drop down to the doorstep. Give yourself a treat, leave him dying there in the street. If a perp starts talking back, he will stop when he's been led swept. Put a toe tag on his feet, leave him bleeding there in the street. When a black guy you kill, know that a grand jury will never send out a true bill. Don't chase him, just waste him. There's no need to drop a gun. There's no need to concoct stories. Like a slab of meat, leave him bleeding there in the street. Grab your Glock and bust a cap. That's community policing. Give yourself a treat, leave him dying there in the street. He can't say he wasn't trapped with his temperature decreasing. You just made him obsolete. Leave him bleeding there in the street. They cry no justice, no peace, but all those protests will cease when their numbers decrease. They're looting, start shooting, and they'll finally learn their place. Peace and quiet, no more riots. Make them feel the heat, leave them bleeding there in the street.
All right, you bunch of chowderheads. Knock it off. Get out there on the streets and let's be safe out there, okay?
It's the all singing, all dancing, all shooting Liberal Grouch podcast. Watch out for that one. You know, sometimes these things can go real wrong in a hurry.
Drinking beer in a cabaret and was I having fun until one night she caught me right and now I'm on the run. Lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down. She kicked out my windshield, she hit me over the head. She cussed and cried and said I lied and wished that I was dead. Lay that pistol down, babe, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down. Drinking beer in a cabaret and dancing with the blonde until one night she shot out the light and God!
I thought thank you, you son of a bitch! You think
I can't breathe!
Huh?
I can't breathe!
I got a broken heart! Huh?
Okay. Did anybody call 911?
I did.
Are they coming?
They said they were.
Okay. In other news, the NRA has elected an actual 55-gallon drum of lard to be its next president. Replacing David Keene, this 55-gallon drum of lard prefers to be called Jim Porter. However, the new NRA president will not be making many public appearances, leaving most of that to spokesperson Wayne LaPierre. Let's go to correspondent Mulch Obermansky in Houston, who has landed a network exclusive, the first interview with the NRA president. Thank you, Hammond. I'm here with the newly elected NRA president, Jim Porter, and NRA spokesperson Wayne LaPierre, who will translate for Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter, congratulations on your election.
Mr. Porter says thank you.
Mr. Porter, do you plan to do anything differently than your predecessor, Mr. David Keene?
Mr. Porter says David Keene was an excellent president who oversaw massive growth in the NRA and our representation of America's 25 billion gun owners, and he looks forward to continuing and expanding on that tradition.
But the obvious question, Mr. Porter, you're a tub of lard. Not meant as an insult, sir, but you are an actual 55-gallon drum of lard. How can you effectively lead an organization like the NRA?
Yes, I'll tell him. Mr. Porter understands you didn't mean any insult with your question, and he assures you that he understands that some of you left-wing journalists, in an effort to serve your master, Barack Hussein Obama, will make an issue out of his lack of physical form and his need to be contained in a 55-gallon drum. But he's never let that be a hindrance to him before, and he has risen through the ranks to become president of the National Rifle Association, so your petty insults mean nothing to Mr. Porter. Do you hear me? Nothing!
Does your election signify an even more right-wing turn for the NRA? More resistance to anything that even slightly resembles stricter controls on the sales of guns?
He said, probably.
Well, thank you both for your time, Mr. LaPierre. Thank you. And how do I shake hands with Mr. Porter?
Just stick your hand in there.
Right into the lard?
Right in there.
I'd rather not.
Do it. Do it now.
All right, Mr. Porter. It was a pleasure to... I'm being pulled into the barrel.
Really?
Yes, it has my arm and it's sucking me into the barrel.
Goodness, what a frightful situation.
Grab my other arm, Mr. LaPierre. Pull me out.
Oh, I don't think so. Mr. Porter requires sustenance.
Oh my God! It's up to my shoulder! My head!
This interview has ended.
Disturbing. Very disturbing. In other news, a particularly adorable little kitty cat named Flouncy was retrieved from a sewer grate today when the Birmingham Fire Department used high-pressure water hoses to...
Well, I can't think of a less pleasant way to go. I'm Bill Schmalfeld, the liberal Grouch, and we started our show today with the good news that the federal judge in Baltimore, a Bush appointee nonetheless, what do you know, has approved my motion to file in forma pauperis, proving once again you don't have to have money to get justice, but it doesn't hurt. Ordinarily, the filing fee is $400, and there's just no way I can afford $400 to sue some scuzzy little bastich in Palatine, Illinois. But thanks to this decision, now the lawsuit will go ahead. And now the only thing on my plate for the near term is this peace order hearing I got to go to on Friday. It's been a long streak of defeats for WJJ Hogue. And I'm not going to guarantee anything because that's bad luck. We'll see how that works out on Friday. So until next time we get together, be safe, be friendly, and remember, wherever he is in this great, vast universe of ours, our Lord God and Creator is probably very, very angry at you.
When he rolls up his sleeves, he ain't taking any shit. Our God is a badass God. He's picking up the sinners to crush them in his fist. Our God is a mean old God. And the Lord wasn't kidding when he kicked us out of Eden, and it wasn't for no reason that he'll shed your blood. His return is very close, so you better be believing our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. And when you disobey him and ignore what he said, our God is a big bad God. He will stomp on your cities until everybody's dead. Our God is a hateful God. Judgment and wrath, he's got that in bushels. Mercy and grace is for weaklings and fools. I hope that you have not too quickly forgotten our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God.
You are listening to The Liberal Grouch.
He eats little boys. Floppy ducktails and big fat snails.
You do know that was never proven in court, right?